Hello, freaks, geeks, basement dwellers, and scrufftards, and the occasional vatnik. Welcome to the War Zone. I'm Scruffy, and this is Scruffy Tales. And, Jesus, at the time of recording, I am 6 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. Jesus Christ, that's just incredible. And this is going to be my 500th video. So, small channel, growing slowly but steadily. But I'm happy with it. When I made my 100th video, I had reached 1,000 subscribers, and now 400 videos later, I am really close to 10,000. Just incredible. I am super happy, and I am humbled by your support. Anyway, in this video, we are going to take a look at Lyman, because Russia has made moves that puts Lyman at risk in the north. And we're going to take a look at other parts of the battlefield as well. But we're going to make a stop at Lyman and take a look at what the Russians are trying to achieve in and around that city. So let's get into it. So we're trying to make a short one here. Andrew Perpetua's map, we can zoom in. And we can see that Russia tried an assault here out of Yablonivka, but they got caught in an artillery barrage and got wiped out by the looks of it. Ukraine keeps maintaining pressure, coming in to the north here, or making attempts to the north of Oleksivka. We'll see if they can push into town eventually. Not much else going on there at the moment. Going down here, Kupiansk, Ukraine's moved into Purov, or what was it called? Moskovka, right? Something like that. So it's depending on the map. I guess it's one name is Russian and the other is Ukrainian. But Ukraine pushed in here anyway and isolated a bunch of Russians that had moved into a valley. Between Purov here in this case and Sobolivka. There's a valley, and here by this road we had, looking at the fortification maps, this was a heavily fortified line, and I assume the woods here as well are also heavily fortified. And then coming up this way, you would have another fortified line, and of course Kupiansk is a fortress in itself with all the concrete buildings and what have you. So what the Russians did, they came out here to the west and moved through Purov down towards Sobolivka, and went into this valley and found themselves outflanked on 3 sides by Ukrainians on the high ground in heavily fortified positions. And Ukraine then pushed in hard into Purov behind them and cut off the valley, and it's only a matter of time before the Ukrainians do a grid search through the entire valley here and can clear out any infiltration units that are still operating to the west of Kupiansk. So excellent move by the Ukrainians. We'll see if they can push on into Radkivka, or if the Russians have enough troops to hold Radkivka. Let's see, moving down. Russia has had some gains here north of Lyman, pushing out into this bulge, and have then made these prongs to the southwest, trying to reach a river and some lakes and what have you, and some towns. And the aim here is, of course, let's take a look at this one. As you can see here, if they can come down this way and close off the gap here right next to the river, in so doing they cut off roads coming in from the north to Lyman, and then Lyman has to rely on a number of bridges to be resupplied. You have 2 bridges here, and then you have a bridge here coming out of Sloviansk. So that will make it more difficult for the Ukrainians to resupply this entire area. You're going to have these bottlenecks, choke points, easily targeted by drones and artillery and airstrikes by the Russians. And Ukrainians might still try and get across with boats and what have you, obviously, but it's not going to be as effective as being able to drive trucks along the highway here in the north, coming down to Lyman. So if the Russians come down here, that is a real threat to Lyman. It's going to reduce the amount of supplies and reinforcements that can be readily pushed into this area to defend the city. It is, though, by the looks of it, I mean, reality might differ absolutely. By the looks of it, this might be a tough nut to crack for the Russians as they push down here, because first you have this town, and south of that, and we have lakes and rivers, natural obstacles in the town. Then you have forest, natural defensive positions for the Ukrainians. Another town. That is so each town is essentially a fortification in their own right, and then south of that you have a large forest, and then you have Lyman itself, and outside of Lyman you have large forests where you can move in troops, hide reinforcements, hide supplies that can be pushed into town to maintain the fighting in Lyman. So this could be a bit more than the Russians can chew at the moment. Coming down here to cut supplies, reaching the river, and thereby sort of isolating Lyman makes sense. And then I guess they will focus on hitting these bridges to reduce the amount of logistics going into Lyman. But I mean, Ukraine can hide a lot of equipment and supply depots and what have you in these woods, and then bring them in piecemeal into town to help with the defenses, and to reach this place to begin with, they still need to fight their way through these towns and these woods, and I suspect that I expect rather that there should be a lot of defensive positions here to the west here. How about we take a look at that map, by the way? Yeah, so here we can take a look. This is the area we're talking about, and Lyman should be somewhere here, right? So the Russians, they're coming down here towards this part of the line here. So the Oskil River comes down this way and flows here. So they're trying to push down this way. So we have Lyman here, and you can see the amount of defenses to the northeast and east. Also, might be why the Russians are coming in. This is the, again, path of least resistance. The Russians tend to go that way where Ukraine has least amount of defenses. That is where they will want to move. And this has made them very predictable. We have seen Ukraine rely on this very effectively down at Pokrovsk. You can see here the gaps in the defensive lines here. Russia has moved into these, and this has allowed Ukraine to plan counterattacks all over the place down at Pokrovsk. Same thing down here. Russia moved through the open gaps, and Ukraine could launch counterattacks. Exact same thing happened at Kupiansk, where they moved down to the west into that gap between the defenses, and the Ukraine launched a counterattack. And the question is if this area here is, if the Ukrainians can pull it off in the same way. You see the gaps here, but since the Russians appear to be more interested in moving over to the north, there may be fewer possibilities for the Ukrainians to launch these counterattacks. This map is it 6 months old by now? So further defensive lines may have been built. But I mean, it makes sense for Russians trying to come in here, because what they will do is bypass the heavy defenses coming in north of Lyman, and also cutting Lyman off from the logistics coming in from the north. So it makes sense. But I actually don't see these gaps that the Ukrainians have relied on elsewhere. So question is if they can launch a proper counter-assault against the Russians if they do come down this way eventually. But yeah, heavy defenses to the northeast and east of Lyman, and all of I mean, these woods are more than likely crawling with supply depots and hidden dugouts and what have you. Same thing over here. So for Russia to move in on this town seems difficult, since they have to fight their way through two other larger towns and also fight their way through forests and what have you in order to reach it. And this town will be well supplied and stockpiled out in the woods, even if the supplies will be reduced significantly coming in from elsewhere, since Russia will more than likely bomb these various bridges and what have you. So yeah, but it's an interesting situation. I think Russia will reach the river, but I think they might struggle a bit on Novoselivka, maybe even here at the Drobysheve. But I think eventually they will reach the river. Question is, can they really enter Lyman? That is the big question. And Russia is struggling with these larger settlements. They've taken Toretsk, yes, but Kupiansk, Pokrovsk, Myrnorad, even Rodensky over at Pokrovsk, the Russians are having issues with these larger settlements of late. So that's that front line. Russia trying to isolate the Ukrainians here. Question is if Ukraine shouldn't just abandon these positions and let Russia have it and then set up shop to helping defending Lipivka and elsewhere. Pokrovsk, we can return to Pokrovsk. Not much happening in Pokrovsk. We're gonna return to it in a moment. This is an area where the Russians are having some success. They've, especially down here, steadily advancing. Question is if they... No, it wasn't a river here. No. So, yeah, we'll see. This is an area where the Russians actually are advancing. And I don't really see... The Syrsky line, that big, massive defensive line, should come down here somewhere. So maybe if the Russians hit that line, that is when things will slow down a bit. But until they reach the Syrsky line, I think they're going to keep advancing here, to be perfectly honest. Moving over to Pokrovsk. Oh yeah, Russia has made some gains according to ISW here. Coming up further, slight gains to the east of Chakove. No further updates on this push. It's still Russian claims, nothing confirmed. Russia is still operating here. There's been a video of a Russian, I think it's an MTLB armored tractor, basically, that makes a stop here and dismounts troops and then gets hit by a drone shortly afterwards. Which should indicate that Russia is trying to push down this way into this wind, this tree line here. That is what it seems to suggest, that they want to push into this tree line and eventually coming down into the woods here, right? So, but other than that, I haven't really seen all that much at Pokrovsk. Russia has been pushing back slightly in Novoekonomice. They are advancing ever so slightly east of Chakove, and we're still waiting for any form of confirmation if this push here has any merit to it. And I think that is the front line in general, to be perfectly honest. Well, that's it. I hope you found it interesting. I hope I'll see you in the next one. As always, Kupiansk, Ukraine, and give them hell.